All right, game on. Let's check out these bands. First round, usually pretty tame, about what you'd expect for any normal match of draft. Get all the powerful mons out of there. Don't want to deal with them. You got your Articunos, you got your Moltres spawns, you got your Typhlosions. So yeah, get them out of here. We also got Umbreon, Toaster, Dream Syndicate, and we got Psyduck. About what you would expect. Get them out of here. Too difficult to deal with. Interestingly, from 5 Rillaboom's, they got rid of a lot of mons that could take up space, deny space, dive. Just generally powerful ones. There's not too much of a central theme just yet. They also banned the Form R on demand in Machamp. Pretty good stuff. We gotta have a Snorlax first pick defender. I believe right now, since the decline of Blastoise, and don't get me wrong, Blastoise is still incredible. That leaves room for more of the other defenders. So, in my opinion, right now, Snorlax is the best defender right now. But he's not invincible. Over on Dream Syndicate, we're going to have 2 picks of their own. Now, the first pick, Blissey, as well as Crustle. Blissey is a strong support pick. Due to safeguard, it can really enable its teammates. And Crustle can always wall people out with Rock Tomb. Good spacing control, at a range, and always has the X Scissor for follow-up. If they X Scissors opponents into walls, that gets done for a longer duration. Back over on front row booms, we're going to have 2 more picks of our own. See how they counterpick. There's going to be a Surfetch, and there's also going to be a Latios. This is a strong attacker, a bit of a late scaler. Needs some investments. I believe he will go Draco Meteor. There is some bulky front line that needs to be cut down to size, and he can reliably get stacks off of them. Speaking of bulky frontline, I'm going to have Toaster picking Delmise. Delmise can act as a defender. It's due to its passive. Whenever it lands moves, it increases in shield, so it's going to be tough to take down. And there's always the hook shot, grabbing people in, taking them out of position. A very strong move, can determine engagements. And of course, you're also going to have Inteleon. I want to say this could be Liquidation or it could be Snapshot. Either one can work. It's going to have a tough time hitting some opponents. If I had to imagine, it's probably going to be Snapshot. You have the Crustle X Scissor. You have the Delmise Hookshot. It should be easy enough to land those pivotal snipe shots. Last 2 picks for 5 Rillabooms. We're going to have Charizard X. You don't see it too often. Charizard Y is available, but they want for X instead. Must be a core part of their game plan. From what I can see, they have 3 main engagers in Surfetched, Snorlax, Charizard X. They have a healing support, and Eldegoss. Luna's piloting it. And they're going to have their backline support. Their Latios getting some major stacks, getting some major damage in the mid to late game. To try to fight back against that backline pressure, Perfect Cell for Dream Syndicate. Last picking Talonflame, and it is a good choice. Can target the Eldegoss, can target the Latios. The peel isn't that crazy. They'll have mainly Snorlax to rely on, but if Snorlax engages, it can't peel at the same time, so he has to commit to one thing at a time. And he's the main engager for the team. He's going to have his work cut out for him. Pretty balanced compositions. Dream Syndicate was pivoting based on what 5RB was playing. 5 Rillaboom's was playing. So interesting to see how this plays out. Both teams are ready to go. Final preparations are done. We're loading in, and we pray for no crashes. Now that we're finally here, let's get it started. All right, we're going to have Snorlax head to the bottom with Latios. About what you'd expect. They'll be going off against Intel and Crustle. Intel's going to have to really rely on its critical hit with its water gun to get some secures. Talonflame will be the jungler over in the center. Up top, we're going to have Delmise and Chansey. Delmise probably going for a back cap. Surfetch trying to get as much points as possible to get the evolution. Eldegoss is going to be there supporting him. And we're going to have Char X as the jungler. Back to bottom. Looks like Snorlax got the best of that exchange. Well, Intel got 9 points. Both teams trying to get some neutral form. Back at the top, we're going to have Surfetch probably looking to get another ball toy here. Just got the secure. Eldegoss has reached his level 4. Now it's able to heal even stronger. Char X is here. Talonflame is here. It's going to be a 3-on-3. No one from bottom is going to quite rotate to the top. Charger's going to have to back up to getting way too much damage, but it can get healed up before the 850 marker. 850 is important because more farm is there to compete for. A lot of Altaria, a lot of Swablu. There is the Power Whip, and down goes Talon. Next is Delmise. Can we get some stacks in for the Charizard X? There's a Fire Punch. Make it passive. There's some big scores there. 5 Rillaboom takes the lead, 49-4. Back at the bottom, let's check their progress. Latias went towards the center, off the bigger and better things. Snorlax can be able to hold it down. Intel got that secure there. It is, in fact, running Draco Meteor. Slow and steady will win the race. They're gonna 5 Rillaboom is gonna choose to enhance Charizard X first, and it's a core part of their offense. When Charizard X succeeds, Latios will succeed. Back towards the top, Talonflame's already level 7, waiting to engage. Has eyes on the Elagos, doesn't want to quite go for that one. Surfetch is waiting in the top bush, has eyes on him, going for the Elagos, just whiffed it. There's a safeguard. Surfetch going in with a massive Leaf Blade, taking down Blissey. It's going to be a 3-1 push. Not much Luna can do up here all by itself, but when 5 Booms doesn't succeed up top, they're probably going to succeed at the bottom. More scores in. Another big score for Latios. Snorlax doesn't have block yet to create some more pressure. There's going to be massive stacks here for another Draco Meteor. Talonflame is here at level 8. They lowered it for the Latios. That's going to be 6 Eon stacks right there. There's the block. Trapping in Crustle with the safeguard. Brave Bird on the Latios. There's the Charizard Unite. But there is the X-Scissor. Oh, Talonflame went back in. That's a dangerous spot. Charizard about to get a KO here. Not quite yet. There is the Flare Blitz, but it's not enough. That's the KO there. Nice pickup. Crustle made sure his team got out of there. All right, Intel's level 8. Looking for a snipe shot. Who's he gonna hit? Whiffed on the Latios. Like the chance to aim away, then aim at the real target. We can't have them reacting to the snipe shot. Big hit on Snorlax. Gonna have to retreat a little bit. Whiff shot on the Draco Meteor. But you'll get more chances. That somehow whiffed on Snorlax. 3 meteors, that means at least 25 Eon stacks, but it's gonna need a lot more as we move on to the mid-game. Charizard's like, all right, enough is enough. I'm ready to go again. We're gonna start ripping this Regieleki. Talonflame's gonna be all over this Latios. It's gonna be like that. There is another Brave Bird. Chansey is weak. Charizard doesn't have ult yet. It's gonna have to be healed off. Another snipe shot. Another Brave Bird and a massive hit on Charizard. He goes down. That's a massive block, but there's no follow-up. Uh-oh. Surfetch ulting in, but whiffing on all the targets. Is gonna have to make a retreat. Charizard X is back in effect. Did you hear that call? He's gonna come right back into bottom. Delmise is feasting up top. Gotta get ready. Is already a level 10. And that is Regieleki secured. Nice job for the orange team. Surfetch moving towards the center here. Getting some vision. No big team fights just yet. Only tier 1 for 5 Robooms up top is broken. 5RB's playing the long game with this Latios. They really need to have these stacks. It will pay dividends later, but for now, he's just, oh, that's a massive hook shot. Down goes Eldegoss. There goes their healing support. Charizard X is ready to move in. Found a target and Intel. Flare Blitz for the KO. Massive Fire Punch. Getting hooked in. Another Flare Blitz. Crustle's ulting in. Massive damage. There is the X-Scissor. Down goes Bliss. Back to the... Uh-oh. Charizard X has to back up. That's a KO. Another Leaf Blade. Good damage on the Talonflame's gonna have to retreat. There is the ultimate. There's the Heavy Slam KO. Couldn't Brave Bird out of that one. Just didn't have it. If it just mirrors there, Latios has 5 stacks already. He's coming along nicely. That is 6 stacks. That means he has at least 100 Eon stacks. He is prepared. He just needs the levels for proper scaling. Snorlax getting hooked up. It's going to have to block to try to save its life. Elgas is like, come to me. Oh, let me save you. Dream Syndicate doing a good job controlling the space over at Regieleki. They're going to be all over it. Who's going to get this one? Lining up a snipe shot. It's not quite low enough for the secure charge. It's going to be once again ulting in. Blaze is going to do the ultimate to try to save its attacker. Let's see who's going to get this secure. Can they body block? Yep, Latios gets the secure and a whiffed Brave Bird. Charizard X goes down. Oh, just missed on. Oh, Brave Bird coming in. Latios is in danger. Down goes Latios. All right, Dream's getting it, holding it down. Gonna let Regieleki walk in at this point. That's only an 18 overcap. That's not that much of a big deal. Snorlax doing as much as it can, but it can't stop these scores. That's gonna be a 20 overcap. Double 50s. Dream Syndicate taking the lead, 213 to 183. They're in full control. They have the lead. They have good levels. It's actually pretty even level-wise for both teams. Kyogre has spawned in. Let's fight for it. All right. Both teams on their respective sides. Entel going for some bush checks. Gotta move towards the center, towards the wall. Activating his passive, becoming invisible. Latios getting trapped in by the Rock Tomb. Snorlax checking out El Bush. That's going to be a Draco Meteor. Talonflame waiting in the back flank. Surfetch has eyes on him. He's going to... Did he ult in? Yep. That should be a done Talonflame. He goes down. The balance has been broken. Surfetch moving on in. Ready to engage. There is the Heavy Slam. There's the ultimate. That's going to be a big Draco Meteor. Here it comes. But he whiffed. Oh no, he's going to cut out. So instead of help it out, Charizard X is going to move into the backline, getting some cleanup. It's just Delmice and Crustle. Down goes Latios to the objective. You don't want to see that. But at least Charizard X is up to start ripping this objective. All that remains is Talonflame. They have to hurry up. They don't want to get a Brave Bird secure here. Farmer B is on the clock. Talonflame is here, and Charizard X secures. And another cleanup. 5 Riddle Booms on the rise. They're going to run towards the bottom pad. They need to get some scores in. It's just 2 Plons. They have to run whoever's there. Lacey's like, all right, I can't stop it. I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to back up and play my life. It's only about 30 seconds left. That's not enough time for Dream Syndicate to rally up. It looks like 5RB is going to take game 1. Snorlax with the smart back cap, extending the lead even more. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Good eye on the Surfetch to stuff out and shut down that Talonflame a little bit. Talonflame was really the only one keeping that Latios in check for big damage from Draco Meteor. And he was shut down. So that left Delmice to try to pick up on the slack, but because Delmice did that, Charizard X had free reign on the rest of the team. Strong showing for 5RB. 383 to 213. Checking out the details page. All right, we have Tooth of 5RB, the MVP. 155 points scored. 6 KOs, 5 assists, 88 overall MVP rating. Strong stuff. The battle data should support this. Pretty good damage at about 60,000 damage dealt. Not bad. But I would like to point out Perfect Cell and Mel both had 71,000 damage respectively. They both had strong showings. It's just it had a little misstep there on the Kyogre fight. But it happens, you live and you learn. Looking forward to game number 2 for this All-Star Draft. But remember, since it's All-Star Draft, these 10 mons right here will no longer be playable for the rest of the set. That should keep things interesting. All right, we're back. Back again, once again, here for round number 2. 5 RBs taking game 1 in an exciting fashion. Surfetch making plays. You love to see it. Gotta update some overlays with the score. So far, so good. Let's check out this draft here. It is going to be same candidates as before. Moltres, Psyduck, Umbreon, Articuno. Granted, they switched sides a little bit, but it is still the same. All right. First pick over for Clef from Dream Syndicate. Hovering over Suicune. That is a good pick. It is a strong mage. Can control a lot of space in the mid-range. And if the range isn't as big as you think it is, for a mage, the range is a bit on the small side. Over for 5RB, they're going to first pick Zacian. Now, that kind of shows their hand a little bit. Zacian is a good mon to just rip and tear through any objective or people, provided he is set up properly. And what better mon to do that with than Blastoise, the big man. 2 strong first choices. On the flip side, we're going to go over to Dream Syndicate. They're going to get some early scalers. They're going to have Espeon. They're going to have Vaporeon. That tells you they're going to set up some really strong picks for the last 2. Speaking of 2 more picks, back on 5RB, they're going to need to round out some scaling a bit. Both Zacian and Blastoise can be a bit hungry for experience. Let's see which partners are going to have. I see an Alcremie. That is a good healing support. I see a Miraidon. That is a strong mon. That's a mon with a strong early game with Thunder and Thundershock. Not bad. Not bad at all. Last 2 picks for Dream Syndicate. Balanced composition so far. They're going to have Garchomp. That is a pretty strong all-arounder. Is able to go into the back line and rip and tear. It is going to have a bit of a tough time trying to do that when Alcremie is around. Alcremie can just ult, summon the giant cake, keep its teammates up. Though, if Alcremie is focused, it can't last long, even if it ults. That's something to be aware of. They might use the Mimikyu to try to shut that down. They can use Mimikyu to also try to shut down the Blastoise ult. I believe the Mimikyu ult has the bound property that could shut down basically anything, barring targets that are intangible or invisible. But speaking of bound, the mon with the arguably the best bound in the game, is Charizard Y. Charizard Y will scoop you up no matter what you're doing and shut that down. And it has two really good targets. It has the Garchomp Unite. It has the Mimikyu Unite. I'm interested to see how Dream Syndicate will play around that ultimate. They do have Mimikyu, but it might not be enough. But it'd be enough to waste some time. Pretty interesting. Well, final preparations are done. We're loading in. We pray for no crashes. Everything's been so far so good. We're about to load in. Just double checking things on my end. But yeah, how you guys doing? It's a Sunday night here. Wrapping up second week of Articuno Unite League. Doing it big. All right, let's get started again. We're going to have Zacian head to the top without Creamy. Having all around and having a support. That is right in the script. I have the script right here in my hand. We're going to have the Char Y be the jungler this time around. Makes sense to me. You want this mon enhanced as soon as possible. At the bottom, we're going to have Squirtle Squirt and Miraidon. That's going to be tough to beat. And we got double Eevee here. Espeon and Vaporeon. Let's see who gets to secure. It's Miraidon. Oh, actually, it's going to be Espeon the Eevee. That Swift is no joke. A lot of damage on Vaporeon. It's going to have to back up. Squirtle being very aggressive here. Couldn't quite take down Espeon, but it's going to have to back up. He has no more defensive options. But, yep, Vaporeon goes down. Miraidon's going to be able to be aggressive on this objective. Yep, got the farm. Not bad. Strong start for 5RB. Back at the top. Mimikyu's all farmed up. Level 5, heading to the top. Suicune's in a lot of danger. Might get... Oh, Metal Claw going in. Oh, there is the Water Pulse from Suicune. Giving his teammates a chance. Miraidon is here for the backup. Here for the Uno reversal. Mimikyu's going to have to back up himself. Gimble's going to be able to get a score in. No big Metal Claw enhancement for Zacian. He has no points, but he's going to go in anyway. Down goes Gimble. It is a 4-on-4 up top. I want to say Dream Syndicate got the best of that one. Back at the center. More farmers available. They didn't get the Zatu first. They wanted to go to the top lane. That is a big Psyshock. There we go. Slowing down Miraidon. Miraidon needs to reach level 5 ASAP. War totals at the bottom. Getting his levels. Weakening the farm. This Eevee is now a Vaporeon. Good. There goes War Turtle doing a Hydro Pump to pop the passives. That's very important. Regidrago is available. Suicune is making its way towards the center. There is a charge beam. Down goes Vaporeon. Miraidon being pretty aggressive, making sure that health stays low. No one's making a big move on Regidrago just yet. That is a grimy Shadow Sneak. Couldn't get the KO, but he was very close. Another charge beam. A lot of damage on Suicune. Suicune's very, very aggressive in this positioning. Trying to get the Whirlpool Ice Beam combination. Down goes War Turtle. That's going to be a big score for Vaporeon. He's reached level 6. And the rest of the scores for Dream Syndicate. Miraidon has to retreat. They wanted the positioning here for the 724. And they're going to have it uncontested. Back at the top, Zacian is level 7. 6 points. Going to be 10 points. Going to be able to Metal Claw at least twice. The rest of Dream Syndicate is working its way towards the top. There's nothing left at the bottom here. They are interested in fighting for this objective, which is Regieleki. Charizard is level 9. This is going to be a tough fight. Mimikyu's only 8. This is a favorite fight for 5RB. Charizard has found its target. He's going in. That's going to be a big score. That pad is broken. Can he get the pickup? He's overextending for it. He got it. Now he has to contend with Mimikyu. Gonna get another score in. Charizard's gonna be able to back up. He has the level lead. Zacian's gonna start ripping Registeel at the bottom. Not much to compete with. Vaporeon is there, but he can't do too much, but he is going to try. I still approve. It is level 8. It has an ultimate. Nope, he's still not going to go for it. Zacian secures it. Uh-oh. I know what that looks like. Looks like that Vaporeon lagged out. We're going to pause here and let's see if we can fix something. We'll be right back. Well, we do, in fact, have a crash. We're going to be fixing that. The Vaporeon, as you guys suspected, has crashed. What gave it away was he was face-planting the wall at the bottom, ignoring Zacian. But let's talk about this game a little bit for a second here. So far, score is 108 to 99. Both teams are doing a bang-up job, keeping it even. Zacian was able to get the objective at bottom. Charizard Y was able to get a big objective with Regieleki and get some KOs and play its life to walk away. It is level 10. Though, it's going to have some stiff competition. Mimikyu and Garchomp are both level 9. They're going to be able to fight back properly. Looks like Zero has reconnected. We're about to start in a second. We can continue. Let us resume. All right. Let's double check on our Vaporeon friend here at the bottom. Yep. Back in the saddle. All right. Massive Invasion Force for 5RB. Working their way towards the bottom. But Garchomp's going to get a delicious 40 bomb at the top. Both teams are going to exchange scores here. All right. That leaves the jungle unprotected. Charizard X is going to go back to investigate. All right. Big team fight's about to happen here. Garchomp waiting in the bush. He's just going to ult that. Garchomp taking way too much damage. Same with Mimikyu. Same with Suicune. Same with Espeon. They're all going to go down. That is an ace. Triple KO for Charizard. All right, time for this team to regroup. We're going to have Blastoise trying to get some vision here to see where everyone's at. Most of them are congregating back to the jungle or the respective lanes to get some more farm, recuperate resources. Zacian with the secure, as always, as to be expected. They're going to work their way towards the top lane. They're going to see how Dream Syndicate responds. Mimikyu's waiting in a bush. Charizard just tapping, doing a soft push. Trying to pick up some extra farm. Get that ult charge. Respectable. Blastoise heading back to the top. We're firmly in a mid game, but we're about to approach the late. 2 eyes. That's a big surf. Suicune's gonna have to be a little bit passive here. Whiffed on the ice beam. Charizard is back. Suicune's about to go down here, and its ult gets stuffed. But I think it's for the best that its ult didn't activate. It would have been a waste. Blastoise saying, I wish you would, Mimikyu. I wish you would try to push me. And it's going to be a secure for Registeel over for Espeon here. Not too shabby. Nice secure. All right, as a big whirlpool. Well, Creamy's in danger. He's gonna ult here about the last time he can do it. Charizard Y is gonna ult again himself. A lot of damage as the Blastoise ult. Here comes Zacian. Justice rings from a gun. Here comes the meteors. Down goes both Garchomp, Suicune, and Vaporeon. They really want this Regidrago. This belongs to us. Back at the top, we're gonna have a side mission. 34 points going in for Espeon. Much needed levels is gonna tick into level 11 and 1/4. All right. Score is 200 to 199. That's about as tight, as close as you can get it. Both teams backing up, returning to neutral, getting some extra form. About 30 seconds until Kyogre reappears. Top lane's going to be a Regieleki, but no one's going to fight for that. That has a diminished return. We're going to get some positioning here at the center. Vaporeon's got the right idea. Charizard needs any kind of form to take back into its ult. It should be very close. Blastoise is by itself. It shouldn't ult. It's going to surf, and its shield's going to keep it alive. It's going to pick up a dollop, and it's going to re-heal. See, that is why healing supports are so good. That entry damage you're taking is not going to be permanent. It can be healed off. Garchomp playing an off angle. No ults from Blastoise. Oh, well, there's Alcremie. There's Blastoise. Never mind. The only one missing is Miraidon here. Uh-oh, that's a freeze. That can be dangerous. There's the eject. Garchomp is right there. Got the exchange right through the wall. Ejected through. Time for an ult. Charizard's ulting in. Getting Suicune. Down he goes. All right. Who we got here? Who's going to take some damage? Mimikyu missing Charizard. He's going to regret that. More damage. They both go down. It is a 2v1. Blastoise is one shot. He's going to have to get out of there. All right. Espeon and Vaporeon. They can't really rip it this fast enough, but they're going to have to try. Suicune's going to be here to back it up. Miraidon is here. Doesn't have an ultimate. Might be able to try to steal it in time. Blastoise is coming in. No ults. It's going to be close. Vaporeon goes down to Kyogre. You don't want to see that. Everyone's coming in. Blastoise is going to be able to create a lot of space. A massive surf. This Psyshock has to be huge. Here it is. Who's going to get it? It is Garchomp. I believe it's actually Mimikyu. Uh-oh. Dream Syndicate holding it down, but a lot of damage for Charge Beam. Give me that buff back. I will relieve you of it. Oh, no. Oh, a whiff surf. Down he goes. Charizard has to get in immediately. It's only 1 point difference. Charizard has to back up. He can't win that matchup. He won't be able to heal on that pad. Down he goes. Quad, baby, for the Mimikyu. And that should seal the deal. Zacian has no points, can't stop anything. Unfortunate. Good secure from Dream Syndicate with the clap back. We have a set. It is 1-1. Not bad. Not bad at all. Dream Syndicate with the disconnected, but they were able to keep their composure, play what they needed to do, and tied up the set 1-1. Shaking out the final score here, 200 to 467, but like there was only a 1 point differential for like the longest time. Looking at the details page here, MVP is going to be Perfect Cell, 145 points scored, 5 KOs, 4 assists, 85 overall rating, strong showing, got the secure at the end, Shadow snuck right into the middle from jungle side, was able to get it. One standout stat is Tooth, the Mega Charizard Y, 11 KOs, 6 assists, but unfortunately could not close it out. Battle data suggests this. Middle of the road numbers for Dream Syndicate, but hey, a win is a win. Unfortunate, Firebeat couldn't get the game 2 with such powerful picks, and they're going to be unavailable for the rest of this set. These 5 Mons, these 10 Mons are now gone. Let's see how game number 3 plays out. Sit tight. All right. These guys are ready to keep going. It is game number 3, 1-1. Well, bands have been the same. Maybe they might try to change it up, but I don't blame them for just keeping the same bands if we got to have a stable climate due to the uncertainty of All-Star Draft. You're going to have brand new team comps every single time, so they just want to keep certain monsters out of there. I do agree with it. I can see why. Though if they want to spice things up, one team could just not ban at all. That is a great way to try to ruin the composure for the other team. They're like, oh, all those mons are available? What? Now we have to deal with them too? A team might do that to try to close out. Luckily, that's not the situation right now. It is 1-1. It is very competitive. One ban that's new is for Alligator. That means Moltres is up and ready to play. Who's going to try to take that mon? Yep, it's going to be Slugger of 5 Rillabooms. Good eye. That is a strong engage. Has a good amount of sustain. Defenses, heals. This mon can do it all. In response, Clef, a healing support that has anti-dive capabilities. That is a good choice. They have Trevenant, another mon that can control space, or a defender, another defender. We have another support. We have Hoopa. We have Snarl. We have Slowbro. There for the shutdown. Another mon with bound property with its ultimate in Slow Beam. It just puts you in timeout. You can't play anymore if it catches you with that ultimate. So whoever's diving in has to be careful. Though a way to play around this is to have multiple strong engages. There is another strong one, but we're going to go with Trevenant. We need a mon to control space up front. That is a good choice. Trevenant can always put mons in a bad spot with the Woodhammer Hornleech combination. And we got Zapdos for more additional stuns. Really strong comp for 5RB so far. But Dream Syndicate is not too shabby themselves. We're going to have a Mew here. Mew is a wonderful lane partner. They got 3 good lane partners in Hoopa, Mew, and Slowbro. And they're going to be enhancing... Oh, we're going to be enhancing Buswole. Buswole eats other all-arounders for breakfast. It plays its own games. What a devastating grappler. Can't wait to see those superpowers. Last 2 picks, it's going to be for 5 Rillabooms. They're actually going to take the Clef. Probably going to be Moonlight, a good healing support. It's always nice. If one team has one, the other team should just have one as well. And we're going to have a Diver and 5RB in Tooth. We're going to have Palmon. This mon could just brawl for days. It just keeps going. Strong choice. A lot of good engages for 5 Rillabooms. That seems to be their main MO. Over for Dream Syndicate. They're not too shabby themselves. They have Cerulege. Cerulege is a pretty good mon. It really has to line up and land that ultimate, though. That is the key. And it can play its life with Shadow Sneak. It can engage or disengage. Strong choice. I've been picking up Mew myself, learning that mon. It is a very high skill expression mon, but it's not easy. As I've been learning, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Mel. Now we're here for final preparations. Hopefully there's going to be no crashes this time, but it is what it is. 10 more seconds. No crashes. These are good comps. Looking at the head-to-head, that Trevenant Zapdos is just going to be a nightmare to deal with. Whoever's in front is in for a ride. Oh boy. That Hoop is going to have to really help out that Slowbro so it can do its job properly. All right. About to get started here. Everyone is loaded up. Let's get it on. All right, Big Moltres heading to the top with Trevenant this time. Interesting choice. Center is going to be the Palmon. Bottom is going to be Clef and Zapdos. That's usually a bit of a role reversal. Zapdos is pretty self-sufficient at a bottom lane or any lane. Discharge is very powerful. There's 2 of them. All right, that's his gear. We're going to have an invade here over for Hoopa. Slowing down its Palmon. Palmon was able to secure the red buff, but this is a mismatch. Already using Eject. But I don't think he can get away here. There is the full heal. I'm gonna, oh, Hooper managed to get the berry, but it's going to be wasting time. It's gonna have to settle for that. KO. Back at the bottom. Well, looks like Zapdos got KO'd or recalled. Mew has 7 points. Can only slowly secure things. Back over at the top. Let's check this out. We're gonna have Sailage head up. Palmot's gonna be late. Hooper did distract it long enough. Buzzle's gonna be able to get this farm for free at level 4.5. Moltres is here, not level 5 yet, not hitting that power spike. Neither is Trevenant, but he's just there to be a body. Palmon is here, hoping they overextend, and they just did. That's gonna be a hard push. Buzzle is level 5. You can't really mess with that too hard. Hooper did God's work. Not bad. Slowpoke's a little behind here, not level 4. Zapdos is level 5, able to push people away from the farm. Clef has now ticked into level 5. That's another big discharge, but no secure here. A whiff on the Thunderbolt. We're about to tick into level 5. Checking out top here. This is a trick Hooper. He's going to be enabling that Buzzwole or Sarilege. Moltres is level 5. There is the Heat Wave. Good damage. Trevin is also level 5. This is going to be tough to beat. Draco has spawned in. All eyes on center. This is a Coaching and E-Ball Mew. Phantom Force going in, getting damage on Clef, making its passive. Hoopa is here with the trick, telling Sailage to get the okay to go in. Another big Thunderbolt. Mew's gonna get that secure. Easy peasy. Keep an eye on Sailage. All right, things have toned down a bit. 720 farm is available. Sailage backing up. Taking into level 8. No one's level 9 just yet. Back at the bottom. Massive Woodhammer, massive, yep, that's what we like to see. All right, that's gonna be tricky to beat. Back at the top. They're going to be fighting for Registeel. Who's going to get it? Moltres taking down the Buzzwole. Next is Sailage. Double KO for big Moltres. Going to get those scores in. Blissey doesn't want to... Sorry, Clef doesn't want to break it just yet. Both of the all-arounders are stacking. Let's check out Zapdos here for a moment. Another Woodhammer. They're going to back up here. They don't have the numbers advantage. Neither team's going for the objective right now. Moltres looks like it's about to get started. There, it looks like they're done stacking. Another Surf. All right, 4 men for Dream Syndicate are coming in. There's the follow me, but there is a Regieleki for our purple team. Sorry, Registeel. Zapdos ultimate, that's pretty big. Double KO for Zapdos. Down goes their front line. Buzzwole getting a massive, oh, that's a combination. But they're standing on the Thunderbolt. Trevenant's gonna be ulting here. Getting some picks. Let me borrow your body, said the Buzzwole. He's taking a lot of damage though. Can't really fight Trevenant like that. Double KO. And there was Regieleki for purple team. Down goes Sarilege from the overheat. Sorry, heat wave. That's where gonna be some scores in. Score is 189 to 0. 5 RBs turning up. This Palmon is greedy. I'd imagine this won't end too well for 5RB. It's time to make a hasty retreat. Trevenant's saying, you go, I stay, no following. I'll distract them. Get out of there. No, Mojo's gonna head to top. Zapdos and everyone else is gonna head towards the bottom. Dream Syndicate wants to play for it. They want to get on the board officially. With the Zap Cannon, but it's fine. There's the boosted auto. There's the follow me. Another big engage with the Sarilege ult. Zapdos is gonna ult that pad. You want it? Come and take it. 5RB has successfully defended bottom pad, and Moltres is going to get a score up top. 225-0. That's a big Horn Leech. Massive damage. There's the Phantom Force. It's going to live to fight another day. Moltres holding it down up top by itself against Hoopa and Buswell. They want this Registeel. Reinforce is going to come in for 5RB. Clef and Palmont are here. This is going to be tough to fight for. All right, Hoopa's calling in reinforcements. It has ulted. And it's now Hoopa unbound. But Registeel is going to fall towards Purple Team. All right. Looks like they're going to be able to get that score in just in time. That is 81. There's another follow me. But a little unnecessary. 379-0. The gap keeps widening. And they're going to take some of their farm to boot. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, no. KO. I love Trevenant. I love Trevenant gameplay. He's so good. Give me your farm. Looks like Dream Syndicate is going to make another play for top. While Zapdos is going to get Regieleki at the bottom. Another secure. More pressure. A bit quiet. 30 seconds until Kyogre responds. Trevenant got good vision. They know most of that team's in the center bush on their side. Hoopa scouting out Trevenant, saying, hey, you can't stand here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That is an ultimate on... Well, it doesn't really matter. There's no follow-up. Down goes Slowbro and no ultimate. That's huge. All right, Trevenant's like, all right, time to fight. Let's brawl. Hoopa is playing a bit defensively. Winning, trying to stall for some time. Sella just waiting to get an engage. Not bad. Moltres is going in a bit. There is the Zap Cannon. And a whiff Ceruledge ult. That's not good. Buswell ulting the Trevenant. That's what he wants. Down goes Ceruledge. Next is, yep, down goes Buswell. Next on the chopping block is that Mew. It's going to have to ult to get out of here. Time to reposition. Moltres is staying right on it. Mew's backing up. Might have to get a Solar Beam ready. Slowbro's going to go for a back cap. Well, 5RB doesn't have to touch this objective at all. They just have to stall for time. Down goes Snorlax. Sorry, Slowbro, once again. Not good. 1 minute remains and there's no ults left. This is going to be a slow burn to their demise. Another Woodhammer Hornleys combo. Serving Buswell on a silver platter. Looks like 5RB's tapping it to bait in someone to come in, and it's going to be Hoopa taking the bait. Not much Hoopa can do in this one. He's going to go down. Moltres is like, all right, ripping it is just not in the cards for these guys. I'm going to play some defense. About 25 seconds remain, and it is all but over. Another Ceruledge Unite, but that's not going to do too much. Another Slowbro Unite. Down goes Ceruledge. Down goes Slowbro. Down goes Buswell. This is all but over. 5RB taking game number 2. Checking out the chat here. Oh, we got a Slowbro DC. Look like an IDC as well. We're gonna fix some things, but Due to rulings, Fiber B did take game number 3 here, so that's a point to them. Unfortunate. But we'll be right back. We got some technical difficulties to fix. Sit tight. All right, we're back. Everything's back in order. Everyone's back in their seats. Ready to continue here. We are going to have... All right, I see. Same bans as before. Moltres is out of here, so no longer able to be banned. Gonna have Zeno first picking Mamoswine. Mamoswine hasn't been picked yet? How? That mon's crazy. Well, he's here now into this game number 4. I'm gonna have to update that graphic. 5 RBs is leading a set 2-1. Next 2 picks here is going to be, it looks like, Blaziken and Cramorant. Cramorant is another mon I've been learning. He's actually a ton of fun. Pretty decent mage, good scaler, good early game, a good lane partner. I like this choice. At this point, when like about 31 mons are just gone, you're gonna have to look to alternatives, aka poor man's Espeon, but it is what it is. Next 2 picks for Dream Syndicate, we're gonna have Latios and Galarian Rapidash. Don't see that speedster too often. Interesting choice. There still should be plenty of speedsters left. But hey, Rapidash is a good one, so nothing wrong with that. Next 2 picks, we're going to have Lapras as the defender. Looks like, the Mamoswine was the last of the traditional defenders that are very good. So they're going to have to settle for less. They're going to have to take Lapras. Delmise was also taken. It can count as a defender. It has those qualities. It was picked early on, so... gonna have to settle for less. That's the power of All-Star Draft. Let's see how deep your mon pool is. We're also gonna have Absol. Absol can be good in the right hands. Can provide a lot of value for the team. Interesting choice here. Doesn't really have too many good targets outside of Decidueye. Decidueye is gonna be able to outrange that entire other team. You're doing a lot of damage. Looking at the item build, it could be Razor Leaf, or it could be a Subversion. It could be Spirit Shackle, but I believe it is the former. We're also going to have Luna here frontlining with Wigglytuff. I do like this choice. There is a lot of frontline presence for 5RB and some backline support. Now, looking at the engages over for a Dream Syndicate, I'd imagine that's going to be a Dive Whirlwind Cramorant, but I could be wrong. Let's see what happens. Cramorant could go anything here. We pray for no more crashes, please. We've been through enough. I would like to point out, like, the season's about to reset, so that could be the cause of it. Everyone's kind of playing last minute. Granted, they chose the times. So, it is what it is. Gotta load on up and get things started. All right, let's begin. Game number 4, 5RBs on match point. We're gonna have Torchic head to the top with Jigglypuff. Absol's going to be the jungler this time around. Over on the bottom, we're going to have Cram and Lapras. Pretty solid bottom lane. They'll be going off against Galarian Rapidash and Mamo. Another solid lane. We're going to have Galarian Rapidash trying to go for stacks, right away. Lickety split. Gonna get to secure here. Gonna fall towards Cramorant. That's to be expected. He has a really strong secure this early in the game. And they're gonna create passivity. Back to neutral farm. Lapras gonna be a bit more aggressive though. That might be his undoing. Desi's almost done with the jungle. Level 5 hanging at the top. Gonna be there with Aegis Slash. About to be taken down. Gonna have to eject out of there. With Latias. Almost level 4. Getting a pick on Torchic. Almost level 4 itself. Being very aggressive. Gonna get it. Can it get the pick up? Being very... Yeah. That's a diminished return. But down goes Jigglypuff. Alright. Farm is here. 5RB's gonna be late. Most of that's gonna go towards Dream Syndicate. But here's the clap back. And another back shot. Down goes Rapidash to Absol. Down goes Aegis Slash. Double KO. Uh-oh. More attacks. And wait. Gonna get the berry. Level 7 Absol. Absol's gonna have to back up here. Almost getting taken down by Latios. Sorry, Latios. I always getting those two mixed up. The red one. I'm gonna start calling it Latina. All right. Things are stabilizing a bit. Latios is getting good stats here. It is on Dragon Pulse. There's the sync from Wigglytuff. Gonna get KO'd here. Yep, there it is. Lapras is fighting the Mammal. That is a bit of a mismatch. Cramorant is here. It is, in fact, Dive. A lot of damage to Mammal. It's gonna have to back up, but Rapidash is here. Mammal's gonna have to dive. Sorry. Cramorant's gonna have to dive away. That is a Razor Leaf Desi. I was right. I was right. Let's go, Razor Leaf Desi. Personally love this build. Walking into the range of all the opposition, but this Desi is brave. He firmly believes in his team to perform. If they can keep this Desi up, Desi's gonna rip and tear through that entire team. As you can see here, that is an Absol ult. They're gonna have to back up. Desi's like, well, there goes my front line. Adios. KO on the Cramorant. Good pickup from Rapidash. Can he get the KO? Yes, he does. This Desi's gonna ult another KO, a triple KO. Man saying back up. Don't make me use this. I'm armed. Yep, that objective is gonna be deleted in about a moment here. Let me just get this graphic set up. That is gonna be a Regirock, and it's gonna fall to Desi. Razor Leaf, level 10. This Desi's gonna be a problem. I have to respect it. Let's see what Blaziken's up to. He's about to get this Reggie Lecky. Good stuff to Blaziken. A nice, easy secure. He's gonna walk in. That is a 38 overcap. Good show. But Blaziken is in danger. I hope it was worth it. KO. Uh-oh. Oh no. Absol got sealed away. Finish it off, gang. Double KO for Latias. Time for some overcaps. Cramorant's coming in at the speed of light. Can't really stop it. It's gonna have to let this one go. Down goes Wigglytuff again. All right, things have quieted down quite a bit. Lapras almost at level 9 is on good pacing, given the time frame. That is an Ice Fang boosted. Mammal is online. Absol trying to take down this Rapidash to no avail. There's the Whirlwind from Cramorant to create some space. Meanwhile, Desi is here, ripping and tearing through everything until it is done. Hey, don't knock X-Attack Desi. If you give it the opportunity, he will finish you off. You know, you're going to respect this thing. He has foregone safety for aggression. I respect it. Oh, we're going to have Mammal sitting on top of this soon-to-be Reggie objective. All right, everyone is diving in. Aegislash is making a play. There goes Rapidash ulting in. Desi's gonna ult way in the back. That is a lot of cover fire. Look at that. Knock, knock. Who's there? It's Desi with Razor Leaf. Time to get this objective. No one's gonna stop me. Don't stop me now. I'm having a good time. I got this Regirock. There is the Whirlwind. Uh-oh. Gatling Gulp. There goes Desi. Mammal's trying to do its best, but there goes double KO for the Blaziken. Triple KO for the Blaziken. Fire punching that horse. Down goes Latina. It goes. 49 overcap for Blaziken. Score. Not bad at all. Aegislash is like, all right, you guys got that one. I'm going to get this Regieleki over at the top, unimpeded. It's going to be mine. Here it is. Knocked out. All right, things have stabilized. It is 3:30. We're approaching the late game. This should be an easy cleanup on Regieleki. Massive crit from Absol. This thing is getting dangerous. There's going to be assault at the tier 1 against 5 Rillaboons. They're trying to gauge where everyone is. Rapidash is running away to get some distance. I hear a Razor Lift in the distance. That poor Altari didn't stand a chance. That Rapidash got caught, but can it run away in time? There's the Dazzling Gene, and it is out of here. Aegislash going for a flank, but realizing, you know, maybe I should leave. Maybe he should leave. Yep, get out of there. Blaziken getting some form up top, reaching level 14. There's one more objective spawning in. Another mysterious Reggie. Looks like FireB might want to play for it. We have some members down there. Let's check it out. Yep, the rest of 5RB is here. That means Team Syndicate is going to get some positioning. Purple team's going to be all over that Reggie ice. Breaking the ice. There it is. Knockout. Lapras gaining some distance. Figuring out where everyone is. Same with Wigglytuff being good front line. Getting some good vision. Kyogre is back, baby, for the 4th time. Desi's like, well, I'm going to start tapping this. Who's going to stop me? Uh-oh. Someone body block. Run! Oh, there goes Desi. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. And Latios is gone. That just leaves the horse. Well, time to bush check. Who's here? Yeah, it's the horse. You thought you could trick me, huh? Nope. It's going to go down. 5 RBs all over this objective. It looks like they have sealed the deal. This game is all but won. Time to get our score in and become champions. But don't rest yet. There's going to be one more team fight. Razor Lift Desi's not going to have that sitting down. Mamo is, though. Yep, and the rest of them crumble. Five RB with the set win. Strong showing. That's about to do it. The rest of this is a formality. Well, we could stat pad or we could just hang out. Just have fun. This is your copy of the game after all. Daisy's like, please, no, get away. No, not like this. Get away. And, well, couldn't get that last kill, but it's all but over. 5 RB taking game 4 and taking this set. They are the winners tonight. Strong way to close out the week. Final score 701 to 110. Not bad at all. Proud of these guys. Held it down, stayed composed even through all the disconnects. Didn't matter to these guys, they played to win. Checking out the details page here. Slugger, Blaziken, MVP, 256 points scored, 11 KOs, 7 assists, 89 overall MVP rating. Good show. Battle data will also support this. About 70,000 damage dealt. You'll love to see it from your all-arounder. He went in, got out, did what he needed to do, and secured. Not bad from both teams. Not bad at all. I believe everyone has to go. They don't have time for... They have another engagement, so we won't have time for an interview this time around. It's fine. This match will be uploaded very soon on the respective channels under GX2_Unite. You guys know what it is. You guys have been wonderful. Have a good night and see